We are back live from Intentional Sports for the Los Borrachos Winter Indoor League. So we were out here quite a bit last winter, and we showed you a little different indoor facility. It's really not a dome, it's an actual building. And roof is a little lower than we're used to seeing in the domes. And they got these cross beams, which kind of rob you of another 8 or 9 feet that are holding up the roof here. So we do see a lot of balls bang up in there. And nice turf. You can see expansive dimensions in left center and right center. Gets a little tighter over here in the right field. And they do have another field at the far end. So this is 16-inch softball, Chicago style. You're seeing it correct. No gloves, 60-foot bases. Can lead off, but you can't steal. Pitcher gets a drag step, 1 step left, right, or back. He also gets 2 fakes or hesitations. Third arm action must be to deliver the ball home. A throw or fake to a base is one of his hesitations. 6-12 on the arc. We are playing a 1-and-1 count. No time limit. And actually got 3 games tonight, but I got a busy schedule tomorrow, so I'm going to be doing this kickoff game here to launch the season, and then I'm going to be hightailing it home. This is a 16-inch clincher, not a mush ball. Comes out of the box pretty firm, and it will maintain its consistency. You actually got those backwards. It should be white inside, orange outside. Yeah, well, I don't want a base runner getting confused.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So we got Los Borrachos Softball Club versus Who's Next. If you're tuning in, I'm always curious, want to make sure with all the software I'm running here that the chat's working. So if you're tuning in, just drop a comment in there. So Sean Quinn going to lead off. Cotto and then Church here for Los Borrachos. And there's a swing, and Sean Quinn drives it the other way for a leadoff single. And Sean always been a pretty solid hitter since his splash days. And Los Borrachos did a good job. This guy here, Dom Jacoby and Alex Cotto, 2 very good young players. A lot of people sniffing around them, but they elected to stay with the Borrachos. And there's a little fly ball, and it's up in the rafters. And that's going to go as a strike. I believe the rule is it's got to be out of the infield to be in play. And that ball went straight up the shaft and hit the roof. We're going to see a lot of that just because of the dimensions and the way this facility is set up. And anything hit to left on this diamond, right field on the other diamond, is going to be, there's going to be a little chaos. And the other field seems like it is a little deeper toward left. And now there's a ground ball right up the middle. He steps on it, double play. So we'll show you the replay real quick. Again, the one place on the diamond you don't want to hit the ball. Hit it right to the short center, led him to the bag, and it was just pitch and catch double play. So Alex Cotto rolls into the tailor-made double play, and that's going to bring up Church. So again, a lot of these guys, and that ball's going to be fouled into the netting. A lot of these guys haven't really played much since the fall leagues. So we expect the first few days out here, they might be shaking off a little rust. Again, the turf here, this is a relatively new facility, and he drives it to right field. And that hit the roof, and it stayed up there, I believe. It did not come down. So he had a strike, and by hitting it up into the roof there, he had 2 strikes, and that went as a strike as well. So Church technically strikes out. We'll head to the bottom of the first, no score. Coming up for Who's next? It's Christian, Chiga, and Preston. So we always like coming out here. It gives us a chance to see some of the younger kids. And I don't believe I ever finished my thought. Anything hit to left field here or right field on the other diamond, there might be a little confusion as the outfielders are relatively close out there. You can see where the red shirt is out there in the outfield and the light blue shirt. So you got to figure that that's going to come into play, and we'll see how it shakes out. As we got a little softball, I still kind of consider us in the holidays until Monday. If you work downtown, you know what I'm talking about. It was a ghost town the last couple of days. A lot of people haven't taken long weekends. But it'll ramp up on Monday. So I hope Steve brought some extra balls, as they've already lost one here as it went up into the net and never came down, and we'll show you where that ball ended up. Can see it way back there. You see that little white dot right toward the end? That's the softball. That's where it ended up. And I'm not sure what the delay is here. So Steve does a pretty good job. He did give me a rules packet, but he gave it to me about 5 minutes before broadcast, so I didn't have time to really go through it. So I'll get up to speed on that over the weekend and next week, and I'll be able to sound a little more intelligent. So Jake Zeman on the hill. So Barachos did a good job. They kept their young players, and there's a ground ball, and it sneaks past the third baseman for a leadoff hit. Besides keeping Alex and Dom Jacoby, they also picked up Sean Quinn, kept some of their better core players, so they're going to be okay. They did play in the championship last year of the SSA Tom Egg-Zarnick No Glove Class A National. Unfortunately, they got double dipped by the Dirty 38s. And there's a line drive. Zeman the snag. Don't know if I had that. J-Rod might have been in the way, but Jake Zeman caught the hot shot, turned it into a double play. And again, the runner off to the races. So both teams get their leadoff man on. Both teams hit into an immediate double play, and that's going to bring up Preston. So it's always kind of cool to see these younger players. A lot of these kids will eventually be on. And there's a ground ball up the middle, picked up and thrown in time by the short center for out number 3, excuse me. So we're going to head to the second. Double play by both teams prevented any type of rally from getting underway. And as a result, both teams go, in essence, 3 up, 3 down. So we hope you had a good holiday season. Unfortunately, now that the holidays are over, I got a feeling we're going to be paying for all that nice warm weather we've had through December, as it's starting to get cold outside, and they're saying we could drop down into double digits out here next week. The good thing about this building is it is well heated. So it's going to be Rocco, Chops, and Jamie coming up here for Los Barachos. And there he drives it the other way, left fielder. A little bit of a circular route, but he gets there for the first out. And here's a ball rolling in from the other diamond. And the ball will roll here. This is relatively new turf, state of the art. you hit a line drive in an alley here, especially toward left center, right center, it's going to roll a long way. Sean. Thank you. The young kids listen, the old guys don't. So here's Chops. Chops a little roller, nice play by the pitcher. As he picks it up and throws him out. So good job by Dante on the hill. Covered his hole there, made it look easy. So here comes Jamie. Both teams would have hit, both teams would have double play. And again, we'll see that with the younger kids sometimes situationally. And there's a line drive knocked down by the first baseman. Dante can't get there. And Baraccho's with their second base runner. Good job there by Jamie running hard out of the box. First baseman looked like he got handcuffed a little bit. And Dante just a tick slow getting over there. So here's Jake. And like I was saying, sometimes a younger kid situationally, will do things like that. Runner on first and they hit the ball right up the middle at a short center. So it does happen. Although to be honest with you, in that winter Dome League up in Rosemont, Jake Zeman, lefty short center, pitch and catch for out number 3. You don't see that very often, but a very nice play there by Christian. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second, still no score. Getting back to that Rosemont League that Frank Shaquille ran, we saw a lot of major guys hitting the ball up the middle in that winter Dome League. And, as a manager, you got to talk to your guys right away, and you got to clean that up. Because it's just too easy. It's one thing if you make an infielder have to move to field the ball in a direction away from the bag where there's going to be a couple of throws and a couple of catches. But it's another thing that lead a short center right to the base. Coach, thank you. So leading off here, it's going to be Fino, Eric, and then Jose. And there's a high fly ball to left, and it gets up in the rafters, and it gets caught. But they're calling it a strike. Nice job by the short center there. So he made the catch. So new life here. Ground ball, short center, easy play for out number 1 as he got a nice little belt high hop. I like that. He was kind of leaning forward and kind of coming in on that ball. A lot of times when you hang back off of this turf, you'll get a weird hop depending on whether a guy rolls his hand over or hits underneath it. Brings up Eric. And we got Julian Gutierrez umpiring. And there's a little flare down the line, but that's going to be foul. Let that ball get in a little too deep. By the time he made contact, the barrel was facing foul territory. And he never really got the head out early on that to keep that fair. And now he swings a little fly ball to center. And center fielder, very stylish out there. He's got a scarf wrapped around his neck. Not all the way, it's just kind of hanging down there. We'll see if at some point in the game, if he doesn't try to reach for a ball, if those 2 flaps of the scarf maybe don't get in the way there. So here's Jose now, 2 outs, nobody on. And he goes the other way, and that'll be a strike. The one good thing about playing in a building like this is because of how high the roof is, which is really not that high in terms of softballs being hit. It will force you to try to focus on hitting more humpbacks and line drives. In a couple of the domes we played in, Aurora was a good example, and there's a pop-up. Alex puts it away. So at the end of two, neither team doing much with the bats. And we're going to head to the top of the third. Goose eggs. And so as a manager, you don't mind getting here. It gives you a chance to work on your guys' heads a little bit. And you get to tell them to concentrate in terms of not hitting high fly balls. Because the majority of the time, unless you're a true power hitter, if you get something up near the roof, chances are outdoors it would just be a lazy fly out. So it's going to be Nano, J-Rod, and LeBron. Anybody gets on Logan. As we're in the top of the third, very snappy ball game, as we're not seeing a lot of offense. Again, they got a 12:30 and a 1:30 game tonight. And we'll be out again next week on Friday. And we'll try to do a double header if possible. Just so happened that my beloved Loyola Ramblers playing VCU tomorrow at 1. And then I have to go to a visitation. And there's a little pop-up, so leadoff hit by Nano. Now they kick it. He's going to try to stretch it, and he'll make it. So Nano, a little overhand cut shot. Outfielder came over and Fino kind of looked like he kicked it. And the ball rolled toward left field. So leadoff man on second base, and here's J-Rod, and I like this kid. He's got good hands, good feet. Still learning how to hit, but when he barrels up, the ball explodes off of his stick. If I'm not mistaken, J-Rod is something like 20 years old or 19. He's a pup. Grabs a strike there, full count. I like the patience there. But I also believe just because it's a 3-1 count, and there's a fly ball, and that gets up into the roof, and that's going to be a strikeout. So J-Rod trying to go opposite field. That's why I'm a big believer. When you got pretty good hitters, even with the 1-1 count, and they have the advantage at 3-1, I really don't want my guys taking a pitch unless it's just something they don't want to hit. I want them in the box aggressive. So here's Logan, and he hits a ground ball. Nice play there by the second baseman, and that'll be out number 2. So Korn, ranging to his right, made a beautiful play there. I might have got beyond my window there. I did. Sorry about the replay. And here's Logan. So LeBron grounds out for the second out. And there is a runner at third. Logan, hard ground ball to short. Long throw. A little wide, and that'll put Barachos on top 1-0. So Logan hit that ball into the hole. Shortstop Chicha, don't know if that's an A or a G, brings up Sean Quinn. Airmailed the throw, just took off on him. And now Sean Quinn is up. Sean dumped a hit into left field his last time up. And Sean goes opposite field, left fielder near the line. Can't make the catch, they call it fair. Trying to score. He's out. So the left fielder slid right on the line. We'll show you the replay. Runner trying to score, throw to the plate, and they nip him. Beautiful relay. Beautiful relay. So who's next comes up with the first gem of the day. Good job by the left fielder. He had to run a long way for it. Tried to slide underneath it. But as a result of him not making the catch, they end up getting the third out there. So we're going to head to the bottom of the third and finally have a leader, 1-0. It's going to be Corn, Brandon, and Dante. Corn made a very nice defensive play last inning, or it could have been worse. And here he slaps it on the ground, short center, pitch and catch for out number one. So Nano has been flawless thus far and got a hit. It's going to bring up Brandon and then Dante, the pitcher. And he hits a ground ball up the middle, and the jinx lives. I say something nice about him, and he makes an error. Heard a couple of the fans for Who's Next saying he is human. So Corn gonna courtesy run. Brings up Dante with Justin on deck. And there he swings and little flip to second base, double play. Second double play of the game for Barachos. As Dante hit a soft line drive. Corn was running all the way on that. And it was a very easy double play to end the bottom of the third. So we head to the top of the fourth, 1-0, Barachos. It's going to be Alex Cotto, Church, and then Rolo coming up for the Barachos here as they're going to try to extend out this 1-0 lead. And with turf and the way the ball can roll, one run isn't a very safe feeling. So here's Cotto, rolled into a double play his last time up. So I'm sure he'll be looking to make amends. He tries to go big, and he gets through the barrier, and it's caught about 2 feet into foul territory for out number one. So Cotto trying to go big there. It's a good pitch by Dante, and here's a ball rolling in. We told you it'll roll on this turf, as there was a home run down there. So that brings Church up. And they do got very strict rules out here. And there's a high pop-up. First baseman puts it away. So 2 up, 2 down here. Neither team really getting any authoritative swings in. But they got some interesting rules. They have an absolute zero tolerance. So there's no swearing, there's no yelling at an umpire, or they will immediately throw you out. And so we see the conduct here and tends to be pretty on point. Quite honestly, we need to do a little more of that with the SSA. So here's Rocco. First saw him on north side mint, and he scalds it to center. Center fielder Fino picks it up on a hop, and Rocco delivers a base hit. So 2-out hit now as Chops, the second baseman, steps in. And he just flips it toward right center. Churchill get to third. That's a mistake. They tried to throw him out, and that allows Chops to hustle into second. Fino got a great arm, but he wasn't going to get Church, who was running on the swing. And he gave up 60 feet of real estate for no reason. Now Jamie comes in. Base hit will score 2 instead of 1.
We got 2.
And in a 1-0 game, you really don't want to make it easier for the other guy to score a run. And again, and there's a hot shot past Corn. 2 runs are going to score. Jamie's going to hustle into second with a rocket through the infield. 3-0 Barachos. And again, that's a good example. If you throw the ball to second there, I don't think the runner from first scores. That ball was hit so hard. Here's Jake Zeman. And when you throw to the right base and you make teams get extra hits, you'll be amazed at how defensively you can keep the score down. And Jake tries a flip, and he gets it in. Now there's a throw to the plate off target. Another run scores, so Barachos have pushed 3 across here. Some good 2-out hitting. And they now lead 4-0 in the 4th. And Church will come out in courtesy run. And it brings up Nano.
We got 2. Ken, watch yourself.
And we've seen this who's next team. They're capable of scoring some runs, but they're just off to a miserable start to the ball game. They haven't even gone through their lineup yet. And Nano, little soft flare. Corn gets there. Little basket catch to end the inning. But in the inning, they push a 3 spot. And halfway through, Los Barachos leading 4-0. So it's going to be Justin and Kevin. Anybody gets on, the leadoff man, Christian, will come up. Again, the 2 double plays that Who's Next has hit into has really prevented them from being able to cycle back to the top of their lineup. Yes, they are, Amalia. So here's the leadoff man, and he hits a hot one-hopper. Nano makes the play for out number 1. If I'm not mistaken, Nano is one of the pickups for Los Barachos heading into next year. I believe I heard that. So there was a lot of scuttlebutt that they were going to get gutted and that a lot of their guys were going to leave, but they did very well for themselves in the offseason. So here's Kevin, and he hits a lazy fly ball to center, and that's put away for out number 2 as Church made the play easily. And here's the leadoff man. So with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, Who's Next finally gets to the top of their lineup. And they need to start turning it on a little bit and generating some hits. And there's a wicked line drive foul. There's a couple of fans over there. Guy must be a soccer player. He just reached out and flicked it to the fielder. And now he hits a little slow hopper. Cotto on the run. And they call him out at first. There might have been a bobble. We'll take a look at it. And I'm not quite sure if J-Rod held on there. And, and they may have actually beaten the throw to first. Cristiano, it was Christian was very close there, but we showed you the replay. So that'll end it. We'll head to the top of the fifth. Still a 4-0 ball game here. And there's a swing and a base hit to center field. So the leadoff man is on. So I believe that might have been a pinch hitter for J-Rod. And that's going to bring up LeBron with Logan on deck. And LeBron, ground ball. They're going to try to get the, and he can't make the play. First baseman trying to thread the needle and throw it over the base runner. Can't make the play. 2 on. And it looks like a pinch hitter for LeBron. I don't have his name. Steve Rodriguez has a full house over there on the bench, so a little bit more than halfway through the game, trying to get some other guys into the ball game here. So first 2 runners on here. And that ball is scalded. Left fielder back, and it gets over the top. 1 run is definitely going to be in. LeBron will stop at third as he had to wait to see that ball was going to get over the top. But that's a perfect example. If you're a base runner, LeBron was only a couple of feet away from first. He needed to go a little further up the line there. Here's Sean Quinn now, the leadoff man. Second and third, nobody out. Baracho's in a pretty good position here to potentially blow this thing open. Sean Quinn, 2 for 2, both times opposite field. We'll see if he tries to pull something now with second and third, nobody out. And there's a pickoff play. Short center was about 15 feet in the outfield. And Sean does pull it. Korn will make the play, but another run scores. And that's good softball there. That's what we call a productive out. He got 1 in, 1 over. You were already up 5. He pushes it to 6. And now Alex Cotto with a runner on third and 1 out. Pretty easy RBI opportunity. And he goes the other way. And that ball hits the roof. So 2 strikes. Now, if you're Alex here, you got to be disciplined. You don't want to end up hitting another ball in the roof. They're playing deep on the right side. Just hit a little 2-hopper over there and get the job done. And there he hits it back to the mound, but Dante didn't even look at the runner there. He had time to do it. So Alex will pick up an RBI to make it 7-0. But that's a good example there. That ball was hit so hard. If you're Dante, you could have looked the runner back and maybe saved a run. So here's Dom Jacoby now hitting for Church. And Dom hits a ground ball to short. And pitch and catch, another bang-bang play at first. We'll show it to you again. So very close there, but again, if we were outside, you might have heard some grumbling, but they don't tolerate that out here. So we're going to head now to the bottom of the fifth, 7-0 Barachos. So it's going to be Chicha. I don't know if that's an A or a G. Preston and Fino. And there's a hot one hopper. Nicely done there by LeBron. So he got the big belt high hop, threw accurately for out number one. So brings up the left fielder, Preston, with Fino on deck. And there's a little roller. Zeman will make that play for 2 outs. So 2 up, 2 down, and the offensive woes for who's next continue here. It brings up Fino. And Fino is a very interesting player, very solidly built guy. He's got a lot of pop, runs like a deer. And we saw him have a couple of big games out at the Country Clubs tournament last year. And there he just sits back and drills it up the alley. Fino flying around the bases. And who's next is on the board. Again, with this turf, you really don't need to go big. He just sat back and whistled a line drive into the alley, hit that turf, and it was all over. And what we're seeing early today is the fact that too many balls being hit right up into the rafters. Not enough of that line drive type swing we just saw Fino. It's going to bring up Eric. So 1 out, 1 in here. Jake Zeman doing a pretty good job today. We haven't, aside from that ball Fino hit, we haven't really seen too many balls really smoked. And that'll be a strikeout. But they do score on the Fino opposite field home run. And we're going to head to the top of the 6th. It's been all Barachos so far. You can see over there a lot of the teams that are playing next. The game on the other diamond looks like it's over. So a lot of people gravitating over here. And thank God for Alexa. I sat down around 8 o'clock and put up a 60-minute timer, and she woke me out because I was out. So here's Rocco, then Chops and Jamie. And Rocco hits a humpback right into right field for a leadoff hit. And Los Barachos offensively starting to settle in a little bit. And Church is going to come out and run again. Brings up Chops. Actually, this might be a pinch hitter for Chops. And that ball's going to flare out of play over here by the soccer net. So that's trouble waiting to happen. Some guys on the other team there are floating out into left field instead of walking down the line. And there's a little flare, but Korn, who's moved out to right field, makes the catch. And Church just got back in time. So he started at second. They put him in the outfield as Who's Next trying to get a couple of players in the ball game. And that's going to bring up Jamie now. The one thing about these younger teams, they do tend to play hard every time they come out. And there's a hard ground ball to second. Nice job. The big fellow over here at second had a little bobble. Church did move over. He recovered, did get the out. So 2 outs for Jake Zeman. Church can run, so any type of a 2-out hit here should easily score him.
Good.
Realistically, you're in the 6th inning. You've only given up 7 to this point. Problem really has not been your defense if you're Who's Next. It's just been that inability to string anything together on offense. So there he grabs a strike there. Tried to quick pitch him there. Jake taken all the way. So that pitch had no chance. And now Jake just tried to pull the hands in. Could not elevate it over to second baseman. And that'll be out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 7-1 Barachos. So if you're Who's Next, you want to cut into this lead. Obviously, you'd love to tie or take a lead, but more importantly, heading into a potential bottom of the 7th, you want to try to make that easier if you can. So it's going to be Jose, Korn, and Brandon here to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Anybody gets on, Dante. Again, if you're Who's Next, you just got to start stacking some hits. And there's a little flip foul the other way. And it's hard, too, coming off the holidays. Everybody's been eating and partying. So sometimes you're a little lethargic. And there's a high pop-up. And going back, caught there by LeBron. For out number 1. And here comes Korn. Again, Who's Next? They have hit it into 2 double plays in the 1st and the 3rd. Both times after they had a leadoff man on. And Corn, a hot shot. Big hop for LeBron. And good recovery there. First baseman got out there. He threw a little bit of a slider over there. He got a couple of hands on it to kind of put it down into the carpet where he was able to secure it, stayed on the bag. 2 up, 2 down. You might have heard LeBron kind of muttering to himself. Thought he should have caught that on a fly. Might have got out on that front foot a little quick. And there's a chopper to third base. So they go 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. So we're going to head to the top of the 7th. 7-1. Barachos. And Barachos been kind of in control of the game. Their defense been very good. So it's going to be Nano, J-Rod, and LeBron. And I think the Barachos in that A division are going to be a handful.
But did you see that Arizona took that we went to last year? They're doing a women's team.
And there's a fly ball, and that's trouble. And it gets past Fino, who moved from center to left. And that's going to be a stand-up triple leading off. Well, thank you, Amalia. Had to have some routine blood work done today, so I had the day off, got to sleep a little bit more. Had a few days off here during the holidays, so definitely feeling better. So here's J-Rod. Now with the runner on third, nobody out, you'd like to see J-Rod just go ahead and free swing here, try to get a hit. And he rifles it right at the second baseman, and now he was going to lob it home. Sneaky base running there by Nano. He saw the second baseman was deep, and he kind of flipped the ball about 15 feet in the air, 20 feet in the air, and Nano, who had tagged, just took off and scored.
More icing than I thought it was. There's certain sections.
And there's a little bouncer up the middle. The lefty, in time, makes the play for out number 2. So pinch hitter for LeBron, grounds out, and that's an example of where being left-handed actually helped the short center. So that was here comes Sean Quinn. Nobody on now. 8-1 Barachos. So it's going to be a tall task for who's next in the bottom of the 7th. And it's interesting when you play 1-1 and you take the arguing out how quick games can be, and there's a ground ball. So the second baseman's done a nice job in terms of catching the ball over there. Just had the one little brain cramp on the lob. We head to a do-or-die bottom of the 7th. It's going to be Dante, Justin, and Kevin, the bottom third. And I am going to grab a little water, folks, and then we'll see what transpires here. You've been practicing? That play you made at second, pretty slick. Somewhere Chris Harris is saying, he never does that for me. What? There's Nora and Aaron. There's Junior trying to stay out of trouble. Failing miserably. Sorry, I had my mic up. So here we go. Do or die seventh. Pistol Pete walking by. So Dante, little ground ball. LeBron, long throw. Whoa, little bobble there. We don't see that often. So the leadoff man on. Again, if you're going to try to come back, and in any ball game, you need your bottom part of your lineup to pitch in, and this is a good time for the bottom to do that. And I think we're going to be seeing a couple of pinch hitters possibly here. This should be Justin, but
I wanted to text when you said.
So if I'm missing the names, I apologize, and that's going to be foul. So 2 strikes now.
You recorded the second game after this one too?
No, I got a huge day tomorrow, so I got to get out of here, get some sleep.
Just curious.
Dante asked me if I'm doing the second game. Next week we'll try to give you a doubleheader. I think Loyola's on the road, so don't got to worry about getting up early Saturday. And there's back-to-back base hits now. And who's next is the best looking inning they've had in terms of base runners and outs, as they got first and third, nobody out here. This should be Kevin with the top of the lineup. So one more hit here, and you might be able to get to your top with the table set.
No, actually 2 for 12 before
Jake Zeman, who hasn't walked anybody, falling behind here. And he swings right through it. And that'll be a strikeout. Looked like he was maybe trying to slap and run, which I don't like that idea. I've said many times, as here's Christian, that as a lefty, and there's one, the relay not in time, they do score a run. But if you're the Barachos, you'll trade that out for that run. What I was getting at, and that was a good example, it doesn't matter how fast you are as a lefty with the runner on first, if you slap it to the left side, they can always go the short way. And it brings up Chicha. So the inning started out promising, but is kind of petering out here a little bit. 8-2. Barachos played a very solid ball game. And there's a walk. Oh, he called that a strike. Hitter didn't think so. I got fooled on it. Julian's had pretty solid game back there. A couple of bang-bangs at first, but that's every game. Runners off, and there's a ball, and I don't know how Christian didn't get hit, but he did a little limbo, and that might have affected the second baseman's vision on that, as Chops kind of was looking over and around him. So the inning will continue here. As Preston comes up with Fino on deck. The good news is, even if Fino comes up and let's say the bases are loaded, if you hit another home run, it'd only be 8-6. And there's a chopper back to Zeman, and that will do it. So Los Barachos, very snappy performance. They win the ball game 8-2. Some signs of late life there by who's next, but the two early double plays took them out of any type of rhythm. So we're glad you tuned in. We'll have more softball for you guys next week, and we might have a few more surprises during the week. So stick with us, follow our page. Thank you for tuning in on behalf of SSA Broadcast and Los Barachos winner indoor league here at Intentional.